A very good morning to all my dear children, and I welcome you all for today's revision class in Civics, Chapter 2, that is Directive Principle of State Policy. Okay, children. So, as we all know that we are preparing for a second unit test, so this session will help us to revise this chapter in a well manner. Okay, so let's get started. Directive Principle of State Policy. So, here you have the picture study. Mention any two ideas of Gandhiji included in the directive principles of the state policy. Establish village panchayats as units of local self government. Promote cottage industries in an individual and cooperative basis in rural areas. Okay. Then, explain briefly how the Gandhian principle related to education and Panchayati Raj are being implemented by the government. Most of the state governments have government aided schools where children up to 14 years of age are provided with free and compulsory education for the children below 14 years of age. All right. Then Panchayati Raj has been established in the villages to promote the idea of local self government. Okay, children. Mention two directive principles related to protection of environment and monuments. This includes to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard forests and wildlife, to protect monuments from destruction, disfigurement, removal, disposal, or export. All right. Mention any three measures taken by the government for the implementation of the directive principle of the state policy. That means steps taken by the government for the implementation of the directive principles. Most of the state government has government aided schools where children up to 14 years of age are provided with free and compulsory education. So every state or every what you can say government for the implementation sake, what they have done, they have set up what is that government aided schools. Okay, and these government aided schools are set up for the children up to the age of 14 years, okay, to provide free and compulsory educations. Seats are reserved in education institution for the weaker section of the society. Okay, so certain seats are reserved in the educational institution for the weaker section of the society, like the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward castes, that is OBCs. Now, scholarships are provided to students from this category. So, even scholarship are provided for this weaker section of people, students. To promote international peace and security, India is opposed to colonialism and racialism. Our country has helped many countries to win their freedom. So, our country has helped many countries to win their freedoms and to promote international peace. Okay, in order to promote international peace and security, safety for our country, India is opposed to colonialism and rationalism. So, rationalism means no difference of colors and race and sex. All right. Let's see the difference between directive principle of state policy and fundamental rights. So, they are directive principle, they are provided in part 44, sorry, part 4 of the constitution. So, directive principles are provided in part 4 of the constitution, whereas fundamental rights, these are provided in part 3 of the constitution. So, this is the first difference, children. Next, these under directive principle, these are not justiciable or enforceable by any court of law. So they are not justiciable by any court of law. Whereas in fundamental right, these are justiciable. The citizen can seek protection from a high court or the Supreme Court. All right, so that citizen can seek protection from the High Court or the Supreme Court. That is a fundamental rights. Then under directive principle, the next difference, they are meant for the government to create certain privileges for the citizens. Okay, so directive principles are meant for the government to create certain privileges, some facilities for the citizen. Whereas under fundamental rights, they are privileges in existence for the citizens to enjoy. There are fundamental rights are privileges. They are existing for the citizens to enjoy. The next difference under directive principle, they are mere directions to the state to attain certain set objectives. They are mere directions to the states to attain certain set objectives. Okay, so there are mere directions means few directions to the state to attain certain sets of objectives. Okay, so directive principles, they have their directions, they show the directions to the state. Okay, they show the guidelines to the state to attain certain set of objectives, certain aims. Okay, children. So that is directive principles. Whereas under fundamental rights, there are certain kind of restrictions on the states. Okay, so fundamental rights are nothing but they are certain kind of restrictions. Fundamental rights we have got everything, but there are few restrictions on the states. All right. Then the next difference we can see under directive principle, these aim to establish a welfare state. Okay, so directive principle, these aim to establish a welfare state, to have a better state where the people of in which state all the people are or all the citizens are having a welfare or better state of living. Okay, so directive principle is a guideline. Under fundamental right, this aims to establish political democracy. Whereas fundamental rights, this aims to establish a political democracy. Okay, children. Children, with this we come to an end of this session. I hope you have understood. So read the chapter well for the to answer the middle questions. Prepare well. I wish you all the very best. Do well. With this note, let me take a leave. Thank you. Bye bye. God bless you, children.